what's the number one realistic trade you want to see this offseason? It doesn't have to be Giannis and 7 first-round picks and Jalen Green. Like, you don't have to break it down that much. Just Giannis to a certain team or a player-for-player swap. What is the one realistic trade you want to see this offseason? I'll start with you, Connor.
I'm going to avoid the Giannis stuff, and I'm going to say Zion to the Miami Heat. And I know he was just a representative for the Pelicans at the lottery. I know they've committed to him long term. He wants to be there. Yada, yada, yada. Him and Willie Green are a pair.
Did you see recent reports?
What? Oh, I did. Of the allegations? Yes, yeah. I did. Which
we'll
I think fuels my argument here.
Innocent until proven guilty.
True. Duke guy. Noted, but true.
Innocent until proven guilty. Someone doesn't believe in the Constitution of the United States over here.
This dude was not listening
Chapel
during
Hill.
History of Hip-Hop, dude.
No, he was not.
But anyways, I think Zion to Miami's fun. Number one, Zion on a new team, change the scenery. We've been preaching that for the last 3 years. Just how would he look in another uniform? Number two, Miami, because that can go one of two ways. It can go number one.
I was about to say.
It can go number one, Heat culture, and Zion's revitalized, and he's ripped, and he's playing 65 games a year, and Heat culture's taking him under his wing. Or he's in Miami, and he gets another stripper or Instagram model pregnant, and there's more court cases, and we never hear from him again. I think there's a very distinct path if he goes to Miami, and I think either way it's entertaining.
Imagine the first Zion Heat culture body fat test, and like the reaction from the nutritionist and Eric Spoelstra, and they go, 17.8. Holy shit! What are we gonna do? It's like
shut him down until January.
It's like in The Blind Side having to teach Michael Oher football. They have to get Sandra Bullock down to Miami to whip Zion Williamson into shape.
I don't know if Sandra Bullock is Zion's type.
No. Lizzo's lost some weight.
Holy cow.
What do you think? Zion to Miami. As a Duke guy, you're a Zion guy. What do you think?
I like that because I'm always glass half full with the Zion stuff. You'd think Zion and Heat culture. If there was ever going to be a team that could fix the issues around this guy, it would be Eric Spoelstra, Pat Riley, and the Miami Heat. So I agree. I like it. I mean, selfishly, I'm like, send him to Charlotte. But, I mean, look, I hate using the word culture when it comes to sports teams and stuff. It sounds cliche and lame and everything, but the culture around the Hornets is just the last thing Zion needs to be around.
No, they're a bunch of enablers. That's honestly what it is. When I thought of Zion to the Heat, I just looked it up. I just want to see if anybody put together a mock trade like that. The one I found is, the Heat get Zion, and then the Pelicans get Jovic, Jaime Jaquez, Duncan Robinson, and a 2030 and 2031 first-round picks. I don't know if that's enough. That's kind of
for the Pelicans.
Yeah, like
I think you're
taking
enough
a pretty back.
I know Zion's contract you can get out of, but you're taking a big risk with this guy.
I guess a Heat 2030 and 2031 pick, first round unprotected. That could be anywhere. They're usually in the middle of the pack though. But yeah,
I mean, Eric Spoelstra might not be coaching down there at that point. Pat Riley might be done with the Miami Heat at that point.
They're just done in general.
Yeah, who knows? But Chase, what's your one realistic trade you want to see this offseason?
This is coming from a little bit of bias. I'm going to say Giannis to the Celtics. I think there's a legitimate chance it happens. I think they have all the pieces to do it. And Brad Stevens is not someone to sit around and wait, especially with the state that the Celtics are in right now with Tatum's injury, all the money, the cap coming up. Obviously, you have to move a lot of things around to still miss out on a luxury tax and a second apron. But it's not my job to break down the details. I'd love to see him there as a Boston fan, but also as a guy who wants to see Giannis play meaningful minutes and meaningful basketball. It makes sense for Boston. Don't have to skip a beat. You can actually try to compete this year and then really load up for the year after when Tatum comes back from the Achilles. And you get to see the East stay somewhat competitive instead of shipping him off to the West where he can kind of get lost in the shuffle in the smorgasbord of stars and incredible teams out there.
Would you be nervous if Tatum sits out all of next year, Giannis comes in for a Jaylen Brown and Porzingis and some picks trade, that Giannis takes this team to win the NBA Finals without Tatum?
Would I be nervous, or would I just be, if you told me that happened, I'd be freaking stoked? What do you mean?
I think you'd be on this podcast going, no, Tatum is still that guy.
Is Derek White the best teammate Giannis theoretically could play with since when?
Drew Holiday.
The first year of Chris Middleton?
Holiday.
The first year of Chris Middleton, maybe? The championship year?
Championship Chris Middleton was freaking good.
Yeah, true. He was.
Yeah, I think
Who,
championship Chris
You don't have
Middleton.
to give me the full package. So what's that trade centered around? Jaylen Brown, I assume, and what?
Brown.
What are you willing to give up?
Porzingis if they want him.
The thing is, his value's at an all-time low right now is the problem.
Yeah, that's why
Porzingis has to go in a 3-way.
Yeah, Holiday's always in the chamber, I think, for the Celtics and their front office, and then they still own a good amount of their picks and some other people's, but it would center around Jaylen Brown for sure.
I've got a pretty good jersey swap of Drew Holiday in a Bucks jersey. If you want me to get it your way,
Okay, yeah, I'd love that. Just in case it happens, we'll have it ready.
are
to
you
go.
willing to give
Put
up
it in the
Peyton
draft.
Pritchard in this deal?
No, absolutely not. He's got to stay.
He's got to be included.
Sam
Sorry about
Hauser?
it.
He's got to stay too. Baylor
It's
Sharman,
Cada.
Luke Cornett.
Yeah,
yeah.
Cada.
I'm just kidding.
I have a few written down. My number one is just for entertainment purposes, and because I think this would be one of the funnier trades as well, but also kind of gets both teams out of what they want or out of their situations, but also puts them exactly where they are still. Kevin Durant for Cat.
I haven't heard that one.
Kevin Durant for Cat straight up. Devin Booker with Karl Anthony Towns again. If you're the Suns, maybe you can beef up Cat stats more, and he can have a big time season, be an all-star, and then you up his trade value a little bit, make him look better, and people forget about the defense in the last couple playoffs and everything. KD goes to the Knicks and gives Jalen Brunson another option, and they can play Mitchell Robinson at the 5 like they want to. KD for Cat.
I don't hate that. I honestly don't hate that for either side. If you're the Suns, you're going nowhere right now, and you know you have to move off Durant eventually, who's, 37 right now?
Yep.
Cat's probably, player-wise, one of the best players you could get. I mean, you could always go the route of getting a million picks and pick swaps and try to build for the future and just completely tear it down. But player-wise, Cat's probably near the top of the list talent for Kevin Durant you can get. If you're the Knicks, though, that's a big risk. I don't know. I know Cat was awful on defense, but that's a big risk. He was a lot of that offense.
I have a few Kevin Durant ideas. I don't mind the Knicks one. I think I just want to see him play somewhere else, to be honest. Number one, probably more likely than the other, Houston Rockets. I know they have the sights set on Giannis, but maybe KD's a more realistic and honestly a better fit. You can give up less, I think, with his age than you would for Giannis, and maybe that's what you need. A veteran presence with experience and also an incredible scorer to bolster up that team. And my really fun one, kind of wacky, I don't know how I'd make it work. KD to the Nuggets would make for some super exciting and fun basketball. Finally getting some help for Jokic and Jamal Murray. Again, I don't know what you send back, so don't ask me that.
I was going to say, it has to be Michael Porter Jr. and 3 first-round picks as well, just because you're taking Michael Porter Jr.
Michael Porter Jr., 3 picks, and a video of the Suns owner cheating on his wife or something, because that's the only way that's ever going to happen.
Maybe Brown, you throw Brown in there, that tempts him a little bit. Maybe you get another team involved to get him some more picks. But KD also, I think he wants there's one more shot at a ring, and I think him and the Nuggets would be an insanely great basketball fit. I know.
Yeah, I like that idea. I like that idea. I had written down Jokic to get anybody. That's my ideal trade this offseason.
No,
I think I am asking too much. I just want Jokic to get a little bit of help, one more real starter that's not Michael Porter Jr.
Have more than one option off the bench? Sorry, we can't do it for you. Best I can do is Dario Saric.
I feel like we're going to see Tyrese Proctor coming off the bench for the Nuggets next year's playoffs.
That's not outlandish, if we're being honest. It's like, oh my God, can Tyrese Proctor give us 25 minutes a game tonight? No.
Drake Powell coming in. Drake Powell, actually, I wouldn't hate that piece for the Nuggets, to be honest. But he'd just be another.
He would be
Watson.
a guy to benefit off playing with Jokic for sure.
Yeah, he can move off the ball.
I don't hate Durant. Durant to the Rockets is an interesting one. That's one you'll hear a lot. They do have enough to give up for him. The only thing is, what are you getting? 2, maybe 3 years of Kevin Durant, and are you willing? How much are you willing to part with for 2 years of Kevin Durant? And also, how much does that stunt the growth of your current young core? You have to weigh that. It's do we try to win now and go all in for the next 2 years and potentially risk our future, or do we trust this linear path we're on? That these guys will grow into superstars. I don't know the answer to that.
Also, if you're Kevin Durant, same with Giannis, you want to play in the East.
Oh, 100%.
I'd be dying to play in the Eastern Conference. Then you have a real chance of going to the finals. If I'm Kevin Durant, you figure out some way to get to Cleveland.
There you go. That's a fun one.
So we got Giannis to the Celtics, KD to the Nuggets or the Cavs, and then LeBron to the Cavs.
Can we get Durant back to OKC if they lose the finals?
I had Giannis to Golden State, but that trade has to be physically impossible unless the Warriors give up Kuminga and every single pick they have.
How about? Yeah, I think that's right. How about Steph Curry to the Lakers and then Giannis to the Lakers as well, and then Kawhi Leonard for the mid-level exception to the Lakers?
The crazy thing is, I think they could actually figure out a way to do that.
Just get Adam Silver involved. Same powers that got them Luka.
Yeah. Is there any other trades you guys had written down?
There's a lot of. I think we're gonna see a lot of blockbusters. Maybe a lot, meaning like 2 or 3 of these really big stars, big names like Kevin Durant, like Giannis Antetokounmpo, Cat. But at the end of the day, the real good ones are going to be the ones kind of under the radar in the trenches when you get these kind of glue guys.
It's my specialty, Chase, in the weeds.
Trey Murphy's getting dangled around recently.
Get Trey Murphy on a contender or put him on a team that puts him over the top. There's just a lot of guys hanging around on teams that just aren't working for them, and I don't have a big long list.
Cam Johnson could really help a contender.
That is where I'm excited to see this summer go, is what teams are making moves for those guys. And I think, honestly, at this point, everyone's has their eyes set on like the same few guys, right? If you're Cam Johnson and you're big and tall, you can shoot threes, guard the wing, everyone wants you.
Do they?
I think so. He's got a pretty good contract number too.
Yeah.
I feel like Cam Johnson's kind of one of those guys that they're dangling around where it's at the end of the college basketball transfer portal and you're like, we might have to overpay for this guy, but it's our only option. I feel like there's going to be a team at the end of the free agency cycle or after the draft that's like, we got to make some kind of move. Let's just go get Cam Johnson.
But then, okay, fair. But ask yourself the question: how many teams in the league would that be an upgrade for at the wing position? Cam Johnson. I think a lot. I think over half.
Over half?
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I think that's a fair.
Michael Porter Jr. for Cam Johnson, straight up. Who says no?
No. I think that's a good point, Chase. And I think that kind of comes full circle where we are going to see a lot more teams go after these not superstars, but that rung below where it's like, oh, that's our third best player. That's an 18-point per game guy on a $20 million contract. And that's kind of what we've seen these teams that have had success in this playoffs built around. There's not a lot of big threes left. You hear everyone talking about it. And I think you'll see that this summer with maybe it's not as many blockbuster superstar top 10 guys in the leagues getting traded, but it's a lot of that 35 to 50 range of guys that are really getting sought after. And I think that kind of speaks more to how teams are trying to be built now and the model they're trying to follow.